30 years ago, the Disciple Bible Study was brought before us, and need I say what has happened in the last 30 years. And this is a product of our jurisdiction, of one of our bishops and his spouse, and it has just been a tremendous blessing to the entire church. And so today, as our order of the day, we want to celebrate and we want to acknowledge what Disciple Bible Study has meant to us, not only this jurisdiction, but all around the world. And so we're going to begin with a video, and then I will turn it over to those who are here to just make the presentation for what this has been, this Bible study has meant to our denomination and beyond. So if we can do the video at this time.
Wow, we can't believe it's been 30 years since Disciple Bible Study was born.
It was our privilege to write and develop the Disciple Manuals, which have been used by over 3 million people around the world.
Disciple continues to be a vital ministry to students to take them deeper into the stories and themes of the Bible. And we hope that it will continue for decades to come.
For the last 15 years, we've continued to develop our work through the Richard and Julia Wilkie Institute for Discipleship at Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas.
Just as Disciple pioneered video in Bible study, the Institute pioneered online Christian education at Be a Disciple. Be a Disciple allows people all over the world to learn together and continue Disciples' commitment to high-quality instruction and small group discussion. Through beadisciple.com, students can read through the Bible with Disciple online, study a book with the upper room, fulfill lay servant ministry requirements, or even learn how to build a youth ministry.
The Bible is still God's Word, and the Wesley class meeting, that is the small discussion group, is on the cutting edge of discipleship evangelism today. We thank you for being a part of our vision in the past, and we look forward to being a part of your vision in the future. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Wilkie. I'm pastor of a United Methodist Church just south of Wichita in Derby, Kansas, just 30 minutes from Southwestern College, the home of the Richard and Julia Wilkie Institute for Discipleship. This year, we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Disciple Bible Study. My mother would have so loved this day. At General Conference in Portland, we had our first celebration and now extend the party to all 5 jurisdictional conferences. The highlight of the General Conference celebration for me happened when the presiding bishop asked everyone who has been a part of Disciple Bible Study to stand up, and it looked like 2/3 of the worldwide delegation and guests stood on their feet. The impact of this study to help United Methodist and others read the Holy Scriptures, listen for the voice of the Holy Spirit, and grow as disciples of Jesus Christ through Bible study cannot be overstated. It is right to celebrate both what has been and because a new generation of people need help to read the Bible, to become and to grow as disciples of Jesus Christ, we celebrate what is yet to be. In Portland, we had special guests kick off the celebration. My father, Bishop Wilkie, with his newly broken arm, in a sling from his misstep off the platform, and doing much better, thank you. spoke of the birth of disciple from his recognition of the need to train Christian, biblically trained leaders in the local church, to teach Sunday school and to lead in all those kind of ways. And he did that when he was pastor of First United Methodist Church right here in Wichita, Kansas. Dr. Zan Holmes was there. He was the MC of the first disciple video. He said that 30 years ago, he had no idea that his life and his church would be transformed by disciple. He had no idea that disciple would be translated into so many different languages and that he would be dubbed in Mandarin Chinese. If you haven't seen it, you gotta see that video. Winnie Grizzle, who directed the Disciple office at the publishing house, told the story of the history of Disciples' development from one first study to 5, and then second generational studies, including Christian Believer and Jesus in the Gospels. Around the world, others jumped on the bandwagon, and Reverend Kai Wei, who directs the Disciple office in Singapore, translated the study into Mandarin so that Disciples' transforming power could spread. Since then, they have taken Disciple throughout the region, even into mainland China. A side note, her son, Isaac Chua, is a newly commissioned pastor on the elder track in the Great Plains Conference, part of this jurisdiction, and a bishop scholar at Southwestern College, and appointed as my new associate. Yay! Thank you, Bishop. Bishop Michael Watson of the North Georgia Conference, when he was a new church start pastor, told how he had seen tremendous growth happen in the discipleship of his members of a new church start when they embraced disciple and began using it. Finally, Susan Wilkie Fuquay, my sister, announced the release of Disciple Fast Track, which she and Dad created by adapting Disciple to fit the needs of busy people today. I have been one of 950 beta church testers for the new format. And we have found that many people who were reluctant to take the full disciple commitment have been open to doing fast track and then hungry to do more. The Richard and Julia Wilkie Institute for Discipleship is home for a growing number of discipleship initiatives. I would like at this time to introduce my brother Steve Wilkie, the director of the Institute, to share an overview of some of those other programs. Steve? Hey, Paul.
There's lots of preachers around my childhood and around my family, and I'm not one of them, but I am so thankful, Paul, for your support and for helping us to get a little glimpse of the celebration we had at General Conference. I want to go into a little more detail about the Institute because the Institute is in many ways a legacy of my parents' ministry. Upon Dad's retirement, he wanted a place in which they could continue to use their seemingly boundless energy and interest in the love of Jesus. So one of the projects you heard my mother mention on the video was Be a Disciple. It's now in its 10th year of providing online software programs. We provide educational programs in a wide range of areas, from how to be a greener church to administrative things. We have programs on prayer, spiritual growth. All of them provide continuing education opportunities and educational units. We are working hard to be the home of Christian online education. We're very excited that we've had over 10,000 people take a course with us in the last years. Also at Be a Disciple, we have an online Be a Disciple Academy. This is for high school and college students. They get to do online a condensed version of Disciple and also get to explore vocational call issues together. It's a really great way for them to have a follow-up to their church camp experiences, internships, different activities they may have done in the summer. They can go through the school year then in a 24-week academy. I'm also really excited to let you know that we have received a $500,000 Lilly Foundation grant to underwrite a youth theology institute here in this part of the country. This will make 3 theology institutes for this jurisdiction, here, Arkansas, and Texas. And these experiences provide a wonderful place for students who are exploring their call, deeply concerned about their faith, and an opportunity to really embed deep Wesleyan thoughts and theology in their lives. So ours will be starting and Arkansas's will be starting in 2017. The Texas one already has a nice, rich history. We have hired Reverend Wendy Moeller-Seib to be the director of our program, and we're very excited to get about that business. Because my parents were great lovers of youth ministry, everything related to youth, we have also now launched a master's in specialized ministry for youth workers that's 100% online. So no one has to leave home, no one has to take time off work or away from their families. The program carries with it very accessible access to Bible, church history, some theology, and then some very specific courses to help them be in youth ministry and be effective in the work that they're doing there. We have a dream of giving 500 youth workers in our denomination a master's in youth ministry in the next decade. We believe that this is a place where we can make a tremendous impact in the life of our church. The last thing I want to tell you about is the partnership between the Institute for Discipleship and the Foundation for Evangelism. We have partnered together to begin a program called the Timothy Circle. This program is an online resource, including a phone app, for young people to receive resources to assist them in their call discernment process. It will have materials in it as well as access to a wide variety of resources, conferences, programs, and the like, to help young people that are seriously searching their call. I've been asked occasionally why I'm doing some of this work, and my first answer is, well, you know, the heavy lifting has been done by God. God is calling all these young people into ministry. It's just amazing. And so we need to coddle them a little bit and guide them and give them a path and cheer them on. And no one cheered a person in their faith development more than my mother. So in her honor, we try to support everyone that's feeling a call from the Lord. The other half of the Timothy Circle project is then resourcing a mentor within congregations who will be trained on how to identify the young people in their church and community, and then how to bring them into a mentoring relationship that then they can use the resources that are available locally, but also denominational-wide resources. As Paul mentioned with Disciple Fast Track, the Institute was very pleased to be able to incubate that program the last 2 years and to manage its development. And we're very excited that now, as of today, you can order your materials from Cokesbury, and we've given that back to the publishing house for that. So as Paul mentioned, one of the fun things about General Conference was when the bishop asked people to stand if they'd been connected to Disciple Bible Study. So I want to reproduce that little moment again. If you were involved in Disciple Bible Study, led one, were in one, read it, did something, just stand up. And I just want to take a moment to just give thanks for this blessing from God that Disciple has poured upon us. As we move to adjournment, I want to just invite you to step out into the hallway. We're going to have just a little time of celebration. There's a guest book there that we'd love for you to sign. If you have a little note about Disciple in your life, we'd love for you to put that there. We're kind of collecting that. We have a gift of a lapel pin celebrating our 30th anniversary. We'd love for you to have. We have some pins. We have a little treat to get you from here to supper. So we just invite you to come out. If any of the things I mentioned are of interest, pick up a flyer, pick up a card or something, and we hope you have a blessed evening. Thank you so much for this time, Bishop.
Thank you. Let's give them a hand, you all.